Welcome back to Let's Talk About That, Season 4, The Build. This season, we're going to talk about the companies we work with and the software we build to make them great. How's it going, Angela?
It's going, Art.
So we've been working with companies for years, and we wanted to really kind of expose like some of what it takes to actually build some of the things that we make for these companies.
You mean we don't just...
Well, most people think that.
It appears that way.
Most people think that. Like
Yes.
You just snap your fingers and it's like, boom, it's done. But we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about like, what does that process look like, you know? And it, you know, a lot of the time, especially you and I, we always go into like this unknown area where we have no clue of what's happening. And most of the time they don't know either. So over the last, 3 to 4 years, we've been working with transporters. So we've built an amazing platform called Cogent. Cogent Cloud is our first one that we're released to the public, which we just launched like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was geared for transporters, but as we're going and meeting a lot of new transporter friends, carriers, we're meeting manufacturers, brokers, right?
Yep.
Meeting brokers, and we're starting to understand like this picture is really, really big.
It is very big.
It's a very big picture, and specifically like logistics, we're kind of focused on like just transportation of like mostly vehicles,
Right.
Like vehicles and units, people that tow stuff from A to B. So
And
that
just
space,
being where we live, RVs is a
RV
factor.
capital.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
There are RVs involved.
Yeah, the RVs are kind of the thing around here,
Yes.
if you don't know that.
Yes.
And so like we're kind of been around this the whole time, and it was like, hey, why don't we build something for what's around in our area? Mm-hmm. So we're unique to it. We're in the middle of it right now, so why not?
Right.
In a lot of ways, I'm learning that, and you've probably seen this too, right? That with logistics, you see a lot of like imports and supply chain, a lot of these buzzwords going around. That's not like all of really what we're working with right now.
Right.
Right? So, when it comes down to the transport of goods, we're looking at like your RVs,
Big
they'll
units.
be like, big
Some
units.
kind of vehicle unit,
But
typically.
What is like the real reason that you're seeing why they're even talking to us in the first place?
Oh, they have pain points. They may have a transport management software they're using, but it doesn't fulfill all their needs. Or they could be a new startup or a very small company, and the transport management solutions out there are so expensive and they can't get into them. They need something simple to use. They have spreadsheets and they just need something. They got to get out of that mode, the spreadsheet and filing cabinet, and it's time to just start somewhere.
They're using paper. They're still using paper.
They're still using paper.
Or just earlier, a meeting we just had not too long ago, they said they're writing on a piece of paper, taking a picture on their sweatpants.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said.
That's your BOL.
There's your BOL
Here you
submitted.
go. Boom.
With the greasy fingerprints.
Yeah, with the coffee stains, all of it, right?
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do is like, especially we worked with really large carriers, but we're seeing like there's a lot of like 3-man outfits.
Yeah.
And it's time for them to kind of up their game.
Right.
And we wanted to create something that's affordable for them to be able to keep track of the the loads that they're moving.
Right.
But also here's the interesting part that I think that's most appealing is the fact that we're providing them leads. Like that's a whole nother thing we'll get in a different show.
Yeah.
But we're looking at like the biggest things for these carriers is they have to get loads. And if they don't get loads, they don't make money.
Right.
Right?
It's all about the load.
And then you have your brokers, right? Your brokers kind of live in between. Their customer is the carrier and the customer, like the manufacturer, whoever needs something moved, right? So like that's a whole nother part of the picture.
Yeah.
So, when we're talking to like even on our side over here at ViviScape, our sales team, and everyone they're trying to understand who the customer is too, and it's really every one of them.
It's just so big.
And it's a different perspective, so
Right.
it's difficult in some ways because we're talking to carriers sometimes, then we're talking to manufacturers sometimes, then we're talking to brokers sometimes, and they all need something different.
We have solutions for so many different things.
Right.
And different levels of entry level, or are you large and you need an enterprise platform and you need integrations, and
Right.
we have the whole gamut.
Right. And so that's why when people are curious, like, hey, what do you guys do at ViviScape? We really just help businesses get to the destination they want to go.
Right.
Okay, so we help fill the gaps in, like, whether their operations or if their goal is to get visibility in their product, whatever it may be, their onboarding, training, whatever it may be. Those are some of the areas that we're filling gaps in. So pretty much on this episode, or actually this season of Let's Talk About That, we're going to be talking about the build and how we build up businesses.
Right. And not just transportation,
Yeah.
because we've actually worked in other areas as well. So we'll talk
worked in a
about
lot
some of those
areas.
too.
Right. Okay. So we'll see you on the next episode.